All right, welcome everybody to another episode of At Wits End. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I'm Ken. That's Carson. He is 6,000 miles away in Upper Austria. I'm on the beautiful Northern California. I think this is episode 69, if I'm not mistaken. It's getting to be up there. So it's been a while. We've been doing some traveling. There have been some events. Need to catch up on a lot of things. But this episode is a little bit of a travel episode. Carson's made, I don't want to say a bucket list. You're too young to have a bucket list, I think. But it was a trip you've been always thought about. Came sooner than you expected, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a bucket list trip, but it's just a place I think most people want to go, and a lot like I wanted to go.
Well, yeah, probably not for, I don't know, most Americans would say they want to go, but it is a interesting location. It's constantly in the news. It's I'll just say it. You
Yeah,
you you
that's
made a
fine.
Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to make the introduction. You traveled to Shanghai, China. China,
Yes, I
oh,
went to
exotic
Shanghai.
lands.
Yeah, I went there. So it's kind of not really last minute, but kind of a last minute business trip. Actually, was I probably put it like set it in stone. I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks before I even went,
Well, it
and
was
then
something you had wanted to do, and you probably knew eventually you would with work, but it came sooner than you expected, is what I think it came down
I
to.
don't know if I, like, thought I would have gone, but the opportunity arose and I
Yeah.
volunteered, basically. Most other people in the office don't wanna go or travel a lot anyway, so,
Yeah, I
um,
think you're probably a little more
yeah, that was the
adventurous
right
and
fit.
willing to travel.
Yeah, I mean, I am the one who moved, across the world across the
Yeah.
world, so
But maybe a brief out. You are in the automotive industry. That's what you were going there for. China is, well, we have the big three, and you gave me a number once when you were
they have
talking.
the big, like, 150 or something. They have an
Yeah,
insane amount of
well
auto
over a hundred,
brands.
hundred auto brands in China, which blows
Yeah.
me away. And you sent some photos and listed some brands I had never heard of before. But I got to admit, some of the cars did look pretty fascinating, I guess is the best word to say. And some of them very luxurious with things that you would
Yeah.
not normally think of in a car.
It's definitely a different car market to, like, the US and Europe. Um, Especially because like, the car market there has really blown up recently, so there's a lot of newer tech, and a lot of regulation is just starting to catch up in China.
Is that because of the is there a growing middle class? Is that why?
Yeah, for
More,
sure. I mean, it's also just a huge population, but middle class has grown, people who can afford cars has grown, but it's kind of, in a weird state because if you kind of know the auto industry right now, it's in a very weird state, but cars in China are very cheap, like, unbelievably cheap. I'm talking, like, a third of what they would cost in, like, the Europe, um, and this is actually, like, a big problem for China, the Chinese government, because they don't make any money, and so as, like, a, um, company trying to sell to like, I work for a company trying to sell stuff to these companies. Part of our stuff is, it's, you know, kind of safe because it's federally regulated or governmentally regulated. But the other part is some of like the extra stuff. It's not like required. They really can't afford um because cars in China are so cheap because of how many brands I told you, so much competition. They're just pricing each other under,
well, that
and
was
they
a
keep
question I was
undercutting
going to
each other.
ask you is how can they be not
Yeah,
making
so
money?
they keep
And I know that
undercutting each other.
there's government subsidies too, right? I mean, they're
Partially, but
partially.
the government's actually pissed at all the companies right now. So probably like a couple months ago, I think the government had like this big come together and conference with all the automakers in China, being like, "What the hell are you guys doing? Like, stop! You're not making any money. It's not profitable. Stop undercutting each other." stabilize the market because yeah, they're making. I mean, for a consumer, it's insane, and I think it's rare that we see on this type of scale. The supply is just so massive compared to the
So,
demand.
so it's ironic that a communist government is having problems of basically capitalism.
Yeah,
There's
it'd be
massive
massive.
supply, massive competition driving down prices.
Yeah, the competition is driving it insanely low, and they're just not making. They're all cash strapped. Like the biggest car makers are okay, but they also sell their cars cheap, and the big ones also are able to sell, out Europe and not the U.S., but in Europe and other markets.
Yeah. If you
And
remember
they're
when we were
super
in
competitive
London,
in like Europe and everything.
well, when we were in London and the old MG, the old British taxi cabs that we were taking around, started talking to the cab drivers because they're all electric now. They got to be electric. I think you get fined if it's a gas or diesel motor.
No,
And I
you
said, oh,
you just have to pay a gas guzzler tax in the inner city
well, so
in
a fine,
London.
a tax. Yeah. But all the cabbies said because even though it's branded MG, and I didn't know it at the time, MG is now a Chinese brand.
Yeah.
And they basically, all the cabs in London are Chinese made.
Yeah, they're not MGs, it's black taxis, like it's a type of vehicle, it's not an MG, but, MG is a Chinese, like, electric vehicle brand, you can buy it in Europe, I buy it here in Austria, I've seen them quite a bit. I mean, to be honest, the brand itself was dead, like, there was nothing coming from
Yeah.
MG anyway, so kind of revived it, and maybe they build some interesting stuff in the future, but right now it's just, the nameplate for Chinese electric cars. I think they make a little sports car, which is nice,
I
but
mean,
it's not like an MG car.
but they actually bought out MG, the
I
British
assume
company,
so. I
right?
mean, they have
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
names, yeah, the logoing and everything, so I think it's yeah, Chinese branded
Yeah.
basically. Um, but it's definitely I don't wanna get too much more deeper into
Yeah.
the car
Don't get
market in
into the
China,
business.
but
Yeah.
the car market in China is very different. I will say it's like probably the one car market in the world where I don't know the majority of brands there, and partly because there's just so many of them.
150. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
it's hard to keep up, but they are innovating. Their cars are really interesting. There's good and bads to the speed of their innovation because they like some of their stuff is really cool and really interesting. I don't know if you ever saw the sports car that can jump over potholes.
Which is, yeah.
Interesting one. Not really useful.
I was going to say, is it
Um,
actually a
Interesting.
function that people need, or is it just something,
Yeah.
hey, it's cool?
It's very I mean, for, like, the tech wise, it's pretty
Yeah.
cool, but it does feel very gimmicky. But they are pushing other companies to do better. They still have, like, this big thing they do copy a lot of design from Europe and the US.
Well,
You
yeah.
see, like, Jeep
Not
Wrangler looking cars and
Mercedes.
Defenders and Teslas and Mercedes, Maybach.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see all that kinda style on Chinese cars, and they're just
They're the
slightly
experts.
altered.
They're the experts of counterfeit. Let's just face it. And that's
Yeah,
from
so
watches to clothing to bags to cars. But to get away from the business side of the car side of it, what kind of hoops did you have to jump through to get your visas and things like that before traveling?
it's, definitely not easy, so obviously I have an American passport. For Austrians, my coworkers, you can go to China on a 30-day, visa free, which is obviously quite
Th-
convenient.
They can just
But
hop on a plane and go.
yeah, yeah, just like you could go to the EU, basically. But as a American passport holder, you do have to get a visa. So this was actually the first time I've had to get a visa to go anywhere. Because like when I went to Japan, obviously in the EU, England, I've never had to actually apply for a visa. And I had a quick turnaround. I had to do this in like I had to rush to get it rushed, and you have to go like fill out a whole application. You have to get like a basically a passport photo done
Yeah.
and submit it. And there's like a special office in Vienna I had to go to, had to submit it in person.
Is that
It
through like
also
the
had
Chinese
to submit it
consulate or
online. No,
Austrian
it's just
offices?
no, it's the Chinese consulate, but they have an
Okay.
office specifically for submitting your visa application.
Yeah.
Um, and Yeah, so you submit, like, online, then you take the paperwork in person with your photo, and then with my rush, it took 2 days, and I had to go back and pick it up, and basically, you have to leave your passport there, they do whatever they do behind the glass barriers, and then after 2 days, you go back, get your passport with the sticker in it, and then, yeah, well, I mean, it went smooth, there's no issues, yeah, I to be honest, I probably will have more issues when I go back to the United States and have a Chinese visa in my passport book. That'll probably be more annoying, but,
Yeah.
we'll see.
I don't think so.
I've heard
And
I've
then,
heard the stories.
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
So what
just
about flight wise? It's how long a flight is it? Direct?
um, 12 to 13 hours depending on the winds. So I flew from Vienna to Munich, on my way out, and then a direct from Munich to Shanghai on the new, Lufthansa Allegris, which is pretty nice, really cool. That was actually very nice quality interior. I actually really enjoyed flying on that, so highly recommend. You can get an Allegris class on the Lufthansa long haul, or
Hey,
Allegris flight.
Lufthansa, you
Um,
need to give Carson some compensation for
yeah.
giving you a false rating.
And then I took actually a really interesting flight, direct from Shanghai to Vienna that left just after midnight in Shanghai. It's one of the last flights to leave, in Shanghai and one of the first to arrive in Vienna. And we left just after midnight in Shanghai, like 12:08 or something, and then arrived in Vienna just before 6 a.m.
Was it packed? Packed flight?
No, it was pretty lightly not I'd probably say like 70% filled. I didn't really see I was in premium economy, so I actually had an empty seat, next to me in the two seat 242 configuration seats.
Yeah.
I had a window seat, and, like, when I slept in my seat, there was probably 5 people out of 25 seats in premium economy or whatever it was. The I think a lot of people from economy upgraded to the premium economy, like, last minute
Mhm.
upgrade kinda thing, so it filled up a little bit more. But that was actually also a very nice flight. Very, yeah, really enjoyed the flight on Austrian Air. It was actually the first time I didn't eat a meal on the flight. I
Was that
just
because they
was
did serve it or you slept through it?
no, they served 2 meals, but it's like it was midnight. I was like, I'd rather eat at the airport at like I ate at like
Normal
9:30,
hours?
10 o'clock at the airport, somewhat normal hours, and I was just like, I just really don't wanna eat like after midnight on an airplane. Just don't like eating on flights, it
Yeah.
never works
No,
out well,
understand. So,
and
and
I didn't eat the breakfast either, so
doesn't
yeah.
Shanghai have, 2 major airports? One
Yeah, they
or
have 2 major, technically both international, although one's more of a regional, and then one's, like, more of a long haul as well as regional.
oh, okay.
So the one that's closer to the city is the more regional, like, mostly in China, domestic flights. Also some international flights probably to, like, Korea and, Japan, Russia, etcetera. And the other one's for the typically the longer haul international airlines, so that's the one I flew into, which is about an hour outside of the city, and,
Hey,
it's a little bit bigger of an airport.
when you landed and you're going through customs, so what line do you get in? Uh, EU passports, do they separate it like EU and you know what I'm saying?
I was in China, so there's no, like, EU separation. No, it's just Chinese citizen and non-Chinese citizen.
Okay, so it's just okay, gotcha.
Yeah, just,
I just wondered how
they
the lines work
also
through customs.
no, it wasn't bad. They also had, like, a first time in China, like, line too. I don't know what the difference is between first time and returning.
Did you get in it?
Um, yeah, I did. I couldn't tell a difference between the 2,
Yeah.
and, yeah, it was fine for me, and then, actually, when I was leaving, the guy in the kind of the booth next to me as he was leaving, he overstayed his visa, and I was like, "Oh, that's not good to do in China."
So what they do with it? Take them away
I have
somewhere?
no idea, I kept going. I will say probably the worst security I've ever encountered because it's so disorganized and like kind of not competent in a way. Uh,
I would have thought it
yeah, it's
would have
just
been
like
the
really
opposite.
old security flying out, and they also just introduced this thing for power banks that it has to be like certified by whatever the Chinese electronic certification is. And if it doesn't have like their stamp, then they'll make you toss it. So yeah, just like if you go to China, a little warning. I don't know if mine all had it because I had some like older ones too, and they let it through. But they did like I forgot I had one buried in my backpack, and they like saw it on the scanner, and they're like, "Oh, I need to take," and then they just took out every piece of electronic equipment I had, which was like including cables and all this stuff, and it took forever. And they did this with like everyone, and it just there's
That's
like
weird.
7 people in line, and it took forever to get through. It
I
was
would think most of the
terrible.
batteries, power banks were produced in China, so they
Yeah,
probably
yeah, they
do have a
are.
stamp. But
That's the
still,
thing.
I'm surprised by that. But I guess it's communist-run
But
agency.
it's more for like their domestic flights. It's they checked like our international flights, but it's actually a domestic flight rule. So kind of a little weird thing that they were checking international. I think it's just like over Chinese airspace, I assume. But it's more for their domestic flights that they had that like precaution.
And so from the airport, oh, that was the other thing. You spent a lot of time trying to figure out hotels just because of the immensity of the hotels. The
Abundance of choice too.
Yeah, they're just luxurious, kind of exclusive, high rises. Some of the largest buildings in the world are their hotels. I think.
Yeah,
I've never.
yeah. I mean, Shanghai obviously 20 million people in the city, so it's a major city. And known for high rises. They have the third tallest hotel in the world there, Shanghai Tower, or fifth tallest in the third tallest building, something like that. Um, and so a lot of like hotel choices. I was very happy with mine. I stayed at this like cool, looks like Sauron's Eye from Lord of the Rings kind of tower, and it was a Conrad by Hilton, I think it is.
Yeah, Conrad's part of
And
Hilton. Yeah,
yeah,
right,
really
Hilton.
nice hotel. It was like 40 stories up or something. Um, I mean, yeah,
How
I
many
really
stories total was a hotel?
don't know if it went all the way to the top floor, but I think the hotel was like 30 stories in
But the
total,
building
something like that.
itself was
Like probably
50,
60 or
60. Okay.
yeah. I'm not sure exactly. I'd have to like
And,
look it up,
and
but
then
it's a tall building.
I don't know the neighborhoods or how the Shanghai's in districts. So where was this? The financial
Yeah,
district,
so,
the tourism
it was right on Nanjing Road, which is, like, the main like, if you're in Vienna, Graben and Kärntnerstrasse, like, the main kind of road,
shopping?
pedestrian walkway with shopping in malls and such. The main tourist drag, basically, is that road then leads you to the Bund, and the Bund is, the river, like, front area. The
Yeah,
Bund is like the old side. So Shanghai used to have a lot of French influence.
French.
It was
Yeah.
kind of a French colony. I don't know
How'd you
exactly
get
what
from the
they were.
airport to your hotel? Metro,
A
cab,
car,
Uber?
no
Okay.
car. Yeah, so I had my company arranged for a pickup for me. That's the other thing. We'll talk about the cars in a little bit, but I had to take it every day. Like the taxi rides, not cars. We already talked about that, but yeah, the Bund is like right on the riverfront, and on the side I was on, it's the old side, and it basically has a bunch of European like um styled buildings from like 1800 style, like classically French looking big stone buildings, really beautiful, and the lights are all lit up the same when they all come on at night. Directly opposite that is the new technology, like, high-rise side, where it's the 3rd
Mhm.
tallest building in the world, Shanghai Tower, with this crazy, like, 90s looking tower, that you can go up, and, all the, like, luxury malls and all the new tech is all on the other side of the river, and that all lights up and has, like, light shows on and everything. And so it's a really interesting point because you can see the old and the new of Shanghai, like, the old rich and the new rich, basically. right across from each other, and that's the more financial district on that side, more business district.
Was Shanghai a French colony
No, I don't know if it was
or
a
or
colony, but
British?
they had, like it was French, like, there's a
Managed.
French Quarter,
Okay.
and I don't know what the relation I don't think it was a colony per se, but they had, like, a
A
enclave or something
magistrate or
too.
something, yeah, and I just wonder when the communists took it from the French, so I don't know. So
But it was
dangerous
always
reason.
China. It's just I think the French had, like, some thing there. I don't know
Yeah,
what it may be.
I think it
Um,
probably established early on trading and commerce and
yeah,
business.
in the French, side, the it's called the French Concession is this neighborhood, a really beautiful neighborhood of, like, tree-lined streets and, like, these mansions, and that's where, like, it's very popular to, like, walk around there because of all the streets, and there's, like, shops sometimes on these, like, tighter streets with all the mansions around them and nice walls, and it's a very, like, Instagrammy area. Um, there's also, like, this, it's like Wukong Tower, Wukong something, Wukong the Wukong building, not tower, it's not a tower. It's like,
It's where the
I don't know,
Wu-Tang comes from.
Wukong.
I know, I'm just
To me, it doesn't look interesting at all. I had some pictures I posted of it, but it was like the most Instagram like all these girls were taking their photos there. It's just like this miniature Flatiron building from New
yeah.
York,
Oh,
like
oh, I saw the pictures of
corner.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a Flatiron building, but it's only like 6, 8 stories, and it doesn't really look significant to me, but it is.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
could have
a
been in
very
any
famous
city.
building.
That is kinda weird.
So that was another like interesting spot and neighborhood.
But
But
if
yeah, I
you're a
stayed, right
tourist
on Nanjing Road.
if you're a
Nice spot.
tourist, quote, an influencer from America or Britain, trying to post on Inst can you post on Instagram from China?
Yep, that's the, other thing. Technology is quite complex. You could not survive, um, technology-wise there. So I was kind of in a unique spot, so I have 2 cell phones I could work with. Was actually very helpful. Basically, it comes down to you need a VPN to access Western technology, Western apps. So your Instagrams, your Googles,
Your
your
Facebook, yeah, Twitter.
Facebook, all that stuff is not. It's all blocked by the Great Firewall, and you need a VPN to get around it.
Is that what they call it, the Great Firewall?
Yeah, it's called the Great Firewall. Yeah, and like China basically has their own set of social media apps. Obviously, that's, like, where TikTok comes from, is a Chinese it's based on a Chinese social media app.
Well, it's Chinese, yeah, owned too, so but it's totally different than the TikTok we have here.
No, they're very similar.
The
One's
content's different.
Chinese.
Yeah.
It's just that depends on the people. It's still people posting stuff. It's not like, you know anyway, they're basically the same app, just one's for Chinese mainland, one's for, um,
Everyone else.
Western, yeah, everywhere else. And so that's basically what it is there's, like, Chinese mainland apps, and then there's, like, the Western apps, and to access Western ones, you need a VPN. I was in a little bit of a pickle because, like, to, I wanted to basically set it up on my work phone to be able to access, um, like, everything because I needed my work phone to communicate with,
Yeah,
like, the people there and everything,
or
and my work phone has other IT things where I can't, like, download certain apps, and so I wasn't able to, like, download a VPN, to access Western apps, and I was, like, kind of like, "Crap, like, this is gonna be annoying because I also didn't know if I was gonna be able to access my work apps, which are Microsoft apps. Turns out Microsoft is accessible through the Great Firewall, it's you're able to get it from inside of China. So, I could use Microsoft Teams basically, which is our normal messaging service, and talk to the Chinese colleagues and, like, the email and all that stuff, so that worked out well. And then I just decided and I found out actually a cool way I had an eSIM, but I used an eSIM from Singapore, which Singapore uses, like, Chinese, um, telecom companies, but they don't have the restrictions, I think,
yeah.
or they don't have the restrictions. I don't know if they use Chinese telecom companies, but they don't have the restrictions of mainland China. Um, and, yeah, I was able to access was it a Singapore one or a Hong Kong one? It may have been a Hong Kong one, but anyway, I used not a Chinese mainland one and was able to then access the internet fully, like, all the Western stuff, from my personal phone and without using, like, a separate VPN app, which actually came in really, nicely because, yeah, I couldn't download like, you can't access the Google Play Store to download Android apps if you don't have a VPN, and I didn't
Right.
have a VPN, on, like, my phone already because I actually had to remove it to set up a Chinese mainland app that I needed, and the other thing too with, like, the Chinese apps and blabbing too much about this is you have to have them to pay for things and to get
Well,
around it.
that was kind of my next question because you said it earlier, kind of insulting that I couldn't make it in China, which I don't have a problem. But when you were walking around in the tourist area shopping and stuff, and there was like an elderly American couple, you had made a comment that, or I said, I wonder how they're able to function there
Yeah.
because yeah, you can't take out paper bills or you can't use your Visa card, your
I mean,
MasterCard.
they were on a tour. Assumed they had some help. But yeah,
But still,
I
the
took out
fact that you can't pay for anything as we
yeah,
do as United States citizens here or in Britain or Austria or anywhere other than China.
yeah, so I never took out a single cash, any cash, no coins or bills or whatever. So I never took out any cash. I set up both,
Do the locals use their currency or is it all
no,
electronic too?
no.
Nobody uses a currency there.
I never saw cash being exchanged, to be honest, I don't remember seeing it.
It's bizarre.
So they use either Alipay or WeChat. They're both massive apps with, like, sub-app ecosystems. Alipay's, I think, the big one, which is the one I primarily use. WeChat was basically a backup for me, and you can add your international cards onto there, so I could use my, like, European debit card or American credit card, on those apps and pay for stuff through those apps, using those cards, but it was, through the Alipay app.
And does like Alipay take a percentage of the transaction?
Depends on the size of the transaction and if you're like there's certain things sometimes they do, most of the time they didn't. They may take from the business side, I don't know on that
Yeah,
side.
that's kind of
But
creepy.
I mean it's very convenient. Like all you have to do to pay is scan a QR code and then you're done. Like it
Yeah,
is quite
once you get
convenient.
set up, but it is electronic
Yeah,
and it
yeah. It
definitely
takes
is restrictive.
it takes some time to set up, but I mean it means you don't have to carry basically your wallet, which is kind of can
Yeah,
be
but
nice.
yeah, lose your
It's
phone
just
too a lot. Not you
I
personally, I'm
mean,
just
I
saying
don't.
people in general. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's I mean, it's probably at a
Or
lower to
your
be honest, it's
battery
probably a
dies.
lower rate than they lose their wallets.
I don't know. I definitely wouldn't be comfortable personally. You're right. I'm too old to be doing I wouldn't feel
Yeah,
comfortable
it's
doing it.
it's not an easy ecosystem to navigate if you don't know tech, but I mean, there old people do navigate it, so
But I'm even thinking of like the impoverished farmer out in some province north of Shanghai. How do they function? Because I wouldn't think they're technologically advanced, but that's
they
a
probably do.
question for another time. So
I mean,
no
and,
worries.
like, phones are cheaper and, like, technology is cheaper there too, so it's easier, more accessible. Granted, salaries are typically lower, but yeah, the accessibility is pretty good there because there's a wide range of technology. And it's so pervasive in their society. It's it's basically like what a chip card is for you, like your tap to pay now. Like you
Yeah.
know how to use tap to pay or Apple Pay on the phone. Basically, it's basically the same thing, and it's just their style. So it's
Did you see
become
many
pervasive enough.
did you see many foreign visitors?
Yeah, but Shanghai is probably the most international,
Of the
city in China, and I was in the touristy area, so yeah, I did see a decent amount of white people, basically, um, and people from, like, Southeast Asia, also saw a lot there, interestingly, I think right before I came there, the like India and China reopened their visa system. So there's a few Indians I saw, which was I guess a newer thing because I don't think they could travel back and forth. I don't know exactly, but I saw that in like a headline. I definitely it's a different experience for me, but a lot of Russians on vacation made sense.
Really?
That was probably the most common white person I saw was obviously a Russian. I saw quite a lot of them in Shanghai.
Wow.
Need to adjust my chair, falling down. Um, so yeah, that was yeah, saw yeah a lot of Russians.
So
A
I'm
few
picturing the stereotype Russian in a
yeah
Gucci warm
yeah
up suit. So is that
yeah
is that the stereotype that was there? So
families too. Like
so they must have been going crazy because that was a question or the follow up is the stores, the shopping, luxury
oh yeah, I mean
goods,
it's
counterfeit and real.
crazy.
So
Well, and I'll say I did see heard like a decent amount of British people there too, which was kind of interesting. But um, yeah, so shopping wise, kind of just absurd. Like I don't know, for me, it felt granted. I was in the downtown and the touristy spot, and I was like going to some of the malls, and I didn't go to the suburbs and everything. But it felt I was the most consumerist place I've ever been. That's what it kind of felt like. Like I
which is
know
wild
America
because
gets
you
this
yeah
rap
we
for
are
being like
considered
consumerism,
yes.
the core, the like the center of consumerism. It's like the center of Shanghai felt like the center of consumerism, like with all the shops and like all the customized things. Like I mean, like Nike and Adidas, they have special lines just for China and
Well, that's what's
like all
always
the luxury
fascinated me is
stores.
Americans and Western societies always accused of being consumerist focused. Yet the Chinese nationals I've met and Chinese foreigners visiting, it's all about the brand, you know,
Well,
whether clothing, jewelry, cars, etc.
in so there's like two places that came to mind. There's this shopping mall on the like the new tower like tower side of Shanghai, the the newer side of Shanghai, the other side of the river. It's a shopping mall, and when you walk through that mall, like unbelievable the stores in there. Like
Was that where you
the
saw the MLB store?
no, that was attached to my hotel and the mall attached to my hotel. Also, MLB store there ridiculously expensive. And if you're wondering, MLB MLB store in China is like a streetwear brand, and they
But
only
Major
carry
League Baseball, for those of you
yeah,
that
maybe,
aren't familiar,
but
yeah, but
they only carry like a few teams, but they it's like a
Yankees,
streetwear
Dodgers,
clothing brand. Yeah,
yeah,
the big teams, Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox. That's about it. That's all they basically carry. And I looked
no,
at a sweater for my aunt, and it was about $200 US. I was blown away at how expensive it was. But
that's why
anyway,
when you ask sent pictures, I go, no, I don't want any of that crap.
it's actually quite interesting, and if it was cheaper, I would have bought something. Like they had shoes and they had bags and they had anyway. But this mall, this luxury mall on the other side of the river, I mean, makes you feel so unbelievably poor by the amount of luxury stores in it and the type. uh, I mean,
Were people buying?
the yeah, and the busiest store there was this like Chinese gold, like heirloom gold store. Like I don't know how to describe the store. It was like Chinese
Did jewelry and
products, but
made of
like
gold?
purely made of gold, but like traditional Chinese um things like
Yeah,
decorations and stuff, but just made of gold. And
statues are.
they had a line of like 20 people waiting to get in. And
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
like,
That wouldn't appeal to me to have a Chinese lion sitting on a dinner table, but
I mean,
made of
the
gold.
like name the luxury brand
They
like
had it.
ones I've never seen a store for. I know the brand, but I've never seen a store for them, and it was in that mall.
Well, I gotta
Like
admit,
stuff, it's just
you asked me if I wanted anything from a golf brand, and I go, "What are you talking about? Never heard of it."
they're too poor to be in this mall. Like,
Malmont is too poor. It's not a luxury
I
considered
mean,
luxury now.
this mall was just kind of crazy. Like, I'm trying to think of like brands that I've only seen on runways. Like, I've never seen an actual store for them. You know, those like type of
Yeah.
fashion
Hmm.
brands. I They had stores there. The Louis Vuitton store was absolutely massive. The Rolex store, massive. Um,
Vacheron
just
Constantine.
yep, had a store.
Oh,
There was a Jacob and Co store. There was a London and Son store. Like these
oh
watch
man.
brands that are crazy expensive. All the jewelry brands, Van Cleef,
Wait, Richard Mille?
Bulgari. Hmm?
Richard Mille?
Yeah, they were there. Like
They actually had a store? Wow.
yeah, I've seen a few of their stores. There's one in London I I walked through, but yeah, crazy shopping mall. Just you walk through it, like the basement had like Coach. Like the
So
basement had
there's
Todd
actually a
Heuer.
hierarchy of the designer line based on where they're
That's what it
located
felt
at the
like.
mall.
And this was also the same building that the Ritz Carlton was in. So there's like
Oh
a Ritz
wow.
Carlton
Yeah.
also in there.
Did you
That
look at
were
rooms at the Ritz Carlton when you were
not
looking?
that one. That one was too
Okay.
expensive. I looked at a different one, like
So when you
the
say too
older Ritz Carlton.
expensive for Ritz Carlton, what would be a room there? Just a basic room
For that hotel,
in US.
like 600. It's not too bad actually. Probably five six
Yes.
hundred. The
Probably
other one
two,
was like
3,000 here.
300 to 250. I actually looked at a room at the other one. I think it was like 250. But
US.
yeah,
And
the one I
your
wanted to stay
hotel
at.
was what, 120, 150 a night?
No, no, it was like 220.
220? Okay.
But I had like I had a nice
Oh,
room.
you had an executive like
Yeah,
suite
I had a nice
kind of
room.
thing. Okay. Yeah.
And it was well within the allotted budget. I will say that.
Yeah.
So it was
Okay.
well under the budget. We use State Department budgets, by the way.
Yeah.
U.S. State Department budgets. Yeah, so that was like the first experience with brands, and the other one, and this may spoil Christmas.
Yeah.
And I
By the way, folks, Carson did go on a shopping spree.
well,
He is
I'm telling the story.
okay. Go ahead.
The other one that is crazy is, and I'd heard about this place on TikTok, but I don't usually buy like luxury handbags or luxury belts or stuff like that, wallets. But I'd kind of heard of this and like Christmas coming up, and I was like this place is kind of crazy. And are the deals really that kind of good for like these, like I don't know, Louis Vuitton, Burberry, Hermes, and there's a place called I have no idea how to pronounce it, but it's four letters ZZER, Zezer, something like that. And they have a few locations across China. And I went to the one in Shanghai, which is actually at the other airport that I didn't fly into, the more regional one. And it was at the shopping mall there. And they're a consignment secondhand luxury goods warehouse.
Yeah, I was going to
And
ask you about the pictures you sent, the shelves of Louis Vuitton bags.
yeah, insane place. This is where some people in the US go to shop for their inventory for their stores. They had 12 aisles of just Louis Vuitton bags. Like just Louis Vuitton bags. 12 aisles, like shopping's like grocery store aisles of just the
And,
bag.
and Carson sent a picture of that, and it's been a topic in my family for a while because I am not a fan of Louis Vuitton bags. Yet we have friends, female friends, that they have to have. That's it. You got to have a Louis Vuitton bag, and I don't think they look that good, and I don't know
But
anything about the quality.
just
But
the
yes,
insanity of this was crazy. And they had a men's badge too. I really liked the men.
and these were legitimate Louis Vuitton bags, not
Yeah.
ripoffs.
So all this whole warehouse is all like certified real, non-counterfeit. Like these are authentic, verified secondhand like consignment bags. They're all secondhand. They're all on consignment by the sellers. You have to like they have an app and you have to scan the QR code to check like the prices because prices can be updated instantly
Yeah.
by the sellers. There's no pricing on the shelves. You have to use the app. You also use the app to check out. They also had like the crazy Hermes bags, like the Birkins and the Kellys. They had the crazy Chanel bags, those like diamond stitched with the gold chain little bags that will grow like unbelievable
I
array
would not.
of
Yeah, I wouldn't know
stuff,
what I was looking at.
and they had, like, men's stuff, so they had, like, Mont Blanc, they had
Mont
Tumi
Blanc, I liked.
bags,
Yeah, okay.
um, they had Prada, like, men's Prada stuff,
See, I
they
don't
had some
consider Mont
shoes.
Blanc or Tumi like designers. I
Tumi
just
is
think
very
of them as a
expensive.
brand. They're expensive, but I consider
Yeah,
them brand.
those
They're
are
not
luxury
associated to
brands.
me with a yeah, okay.
They're luxury brands, and they had jewelry as well, but their obviously biggest selection was wallets and or wallets, bags, and I can verify that the bag prices are very, very good. They're very
It's
affordable
that's what
for
I'm thinking of. I'm
a
thinking of
bag.
the guy or the woman that goes to Rodeo Drive to buy one Yves Saint Laurent bag or whatever. For the price of that one bag, they could probably buy an airline ticket, hotel for a few nights, fly to Shanghai, and buy 5 or 6. Uh,
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah. Like, and a lot of people like Shanghai is and China generally like they have a large like upper class now. They love their like they're saying talking consumerism and expensive luxury goods from Europe, and so they have a lot of them. They take really good care of them, and they sometimes don't use them very much, and they go through them a lot, and so put them up for consignment. They can be crazy deals. These and
what it's
like
even
really
like
affordable.
when we go to Vegas, and you've been through there a few times, and the designer shops at City Center, where the Cosmo is and all that.
Yeah.
Not a crowded mall, and I'm almost fascinated that they're even open with all these designer brands. But I think folks that like coming from say Shanghai, the upper middle class or wealthy of China coming to Vegas, they probably have no problem dropping 30, 40 grand while walking through that
I
shopping center.
I saw something on Instagram, someone was talking about this, and this guy was, like, in, I think he was in Hong Kong or Singapore, and he's a very wealthy individual, has, like, high-end McLarens and, has Richard Milles and all that stuff, and he was talking to, like, a Rolex AD, and he's like, "Oh, you can go to like, Chinese people can go to Hong Kong and buy Rolex and not pay the same tax they would in Shanghai, like, why don't they just go to, like, big savings, like, if you buy in Hong Kong?" And the guy in Hong Kong was like, "Yeah, but that's kind of embarrassing to the rich Chinese people. If they're rich enough, they'll just go buy the watch. They don't really care. Like, they don't care
Yeah,
about the price of it.
it's
Like,
not
they
the
just want
price.
the
So,
item." That's why I was
so,
like, "That's crazy."
so he was saying Hong Kong's cheaper than Shanghai.
Yeah, I believe so. Like,
Wow,
Hong
that's
Kong
surprising.
is sep like its own kinda separate
Yeah,
thing,
yeah. But what
and
about it?
maybe
So in
Singapore
Shanghai,
he was talking about, but
yeah, in
yeah.
Shanghai, if you bought a $25,000 Rolex, is there a VAT? Is there a tax? How do they do the taxes and customs there?
Yeah, they have tax and you can do tax refunds. Depends where you shop at if they do the tax refunds, but they do have, like, a tax refund system.
Okay.
There's normal tax and just for clarity's sake, like, VAT and sales tax in the US, those are basically all the same thing. They have a sales tax in China too, all the same thing, and you can get it back, but it's not all the shops take part in the system, so
But
it's kind of a
I don't like the VAT system in Europe just because it's a pain in the ass to for me to try and get it back when you're at the
it's
airport.
same a European would say the sales tax in the US is a pain in the ass,
Yeah,
so
but you don't get that back, do you? In the US as a European, you pay your
yeah,
sales tax in
you
California.
can.
You do? Okay. I
I
didn't
think
know
you
that.
can, yeah, but it's I mean,
So
yeah,
it's the same in China.
at least you could get the VAT tax back in the Europe if they don't do it in the US, but, um Yeah, so it's interesting, and then you get to the other side of things, which is probably the one you were, referencing earlier. Um, there's this mall in a subway stop. So the subway stop is like the Science and Technology Museum stop. That's the subway stop. I don't know what is actually above ground because the mall is all below ground in the subway stop. Um, and if you know Shanghai, you know that this is the shopping mall for tourists to buy fake goods.
Oh,
And this is a huge complex where you can buy cheap tech. You can buy lookalike luxury items, buy cheap T-shirts, and hidden behind the invisible walls are the fake counterfeit like luxury items too.
so the government
Yeah,
looks the other
Rolexes,
way.
watches.
Everybody looks the other way.
Basically, yeah. I mean, they can go in there, so there's interesting thing I found out what they do. When you go in there, every store has suitcases for sale. They all sell rollers, suitcases, all sell them. And I'm not talking about um like the what you call them, the really expensive luxury ones you buy. You can buy those too, but they all
Jamie.
sell suitcases. And the reason, like, you'll go into like this one that's selling like purses, right? Selling bags, and like all their bags are up on the wall. Like, I know this is a counterfeits. Like, they sell counterfeits, like fake Louis Vuitton or fake Coach, but none of them have a brand on the wall. They all
Yeah,
look. They could look like them. Like they could be, um,
right.
uh, like
So it's the
a
display. That's your
but
point.
yeah, they could all look like the bag, the style of it, but they don't have the logo on it. And then when you walk into the store, then they're like, hey, you want Louis Vuitton? Hey, you want Coach? Hey, you want Mont Blanc?" And you're like, "Yeah, I want a Mont Blanc wallet." And then they go to a random suitcase, and they
Oh,
open up the
and
suitcase, and in the suitcase is all the branded stuff, all the fake
so the
counterfeit branded
suitcases
items.
are their storage filing system,
Basically, and
and
to
inventory system.
if someone was to walk
Is that
in and say, like, if to quote unquote raid them, basically, nothing on the walls is branded, basically. Like, that's look-alike items, but not branded like Hermes or anything
yeah,
on
yeah.
there. And so, um, yeah, that was super funny because, yeah, you'd like ask for something and then he's pull out a random suitcase. He's like, he's looking through the suitcase and it's like not in that one. Then he goes to a different one to check that one. And it's not in that one. He goes to a different one to check that one. And then, oh, yeah, here it is.
Did you look at any watches or Mont Blanc pens or anything?
No, one thing I know, and maybe this is for others, it's difficult to find. So if I were to buy a fake watch, I would want a super clone or something of that nature, which is a very high quality clone,
So they
basically a
would have
really
the
good
lower end.
watch.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, so it basically a super clone is a very good watch, but it's
right.
like a fake Rolex, but it's a very good counterfeit, right?
Yeah.
Or a very and they're high quality, like they're good actual watches.
You would have
They're
to
just
be an
not 20.
expert or very a watch connoisseur to be able to
Yeah,
tell the difference
but
between a
I'm not
super
saying
clone.
telling the difference, but like the watch itself as just a watch is a good
Yeah,
watch. Like it's
yeah,
pretty decent quality movements and everything.
right.
And so super clones are like what I would want to buy if I were to buy something like that. Um, it's not the easiest thing to tell in person while someone's trying to
Sell
haggle
you.
with you to buy something,
Yeah.
and it's not something I would look for. And it's also like these like surface level places basically wouldn't usually have the greatest quality ones. So if they were like, you were like, "Hey, is this a super clone?" They probably, "Yeah,
Yeah.
super clone."
Yeah.
Like, and it's probably not a super clone.
Well,
And it's
it's even
easier to just find it online, to be
like the
honest.
guy in London on the street that was, I can't remember what watch he was selling. I said, "This is a counterfeit." He goes, "Oh, no, no, it's real. I would never account." That
And
kind of thing. But the reason I asked was I just wanted to see if maybe you had looked at them and see how
I I
shitty the
looked
product
I looked
was.
at the surface level shitty ones, yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
but
you can feel the weight
there's no way I would.
probably is a little different,
Yeah,
sweeping
for sure.
hands. If you looked at the bezel and you could see some things. So,
Yeah,
like,
but it's not something like I personally would want to get from, like, a
right.
place like that. I would rather, like, go to a known source for super clones. like
Yeah.
online that I know how to like find those fairly easily. So I'd rather just do that,
Would
and that's
you
easier.
would you buy rip off shoes there, like Air Jordans
Yeah,
that are
I wanted to try and find some, but I got sidetracked basically.
okay? Gotcha.
Maybe we can get into what you were talking about earlier. You said I went on a shopping spree.
If you want, I know you are. Some things are coming this way for
I
family
mean,
members and friends.
yeah, but I got them for you and Jat, and I already showed you guys basically
Yeah.
what I
Well,
got you guys. Yeah,
you want to
so
talk about the golf brand?
yeah, so when I was actually in Shanghai and I was on TikTok through my VPN through the Great Firewall,
Yeah.
um, I saw this guy post a TikTok from Shanghai because my feed was I'd been looking up Shanghai stuff, and so been getting Shanghai like Westerner videos. And this guy posted a TikTok from this like mall, this underground subway mall, where he walked up to a booth and it had golf stuff. I liked, golf accessories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I recognized the brand he was showing off. He was showing off Malbon stuff. And if you don't know Malbon,
Which I
um,
did not. I had
she
no
didn't,
idea what the
but
hell he was sending me
I've
pictures of.
converted my father to a Malbon fan.
Well, I will
Malbon
say I'm interested. I don't know if I'm converted yet. We'll see what the stuff looks like
Oh,
and feels
Malbon
like.
is a luxury golf brand, but mostly for guys, mostly for guy golfers. They have women's stuff for.
I don't
They
know.
also do streetwear and
Yeah,
normal
street.
clothes.
It it's the more urban hipster golf.
But
Your
it's not
generation of
cheap.
golfer.
Let's just say that
No,
it's
no, it's not
not
cheap.
cheap at
It's
all.
if
Um,
Matthews,
Travis Matthews.
Travis Matthews is
Yeah,
a
yeah, like the
conservative
normal.
like, and this is more expensive than Travis Matthews.
But if you know Malbon, you kind of know what I'm saying. And Malbon has, obviously the US stuff. They have Malbon in Korea.
Korea,
And Malbon in
big time.
Korea is even cooler, in my opinion, than Malbon in North America. And
Well,
at this store, they carried Chinese, like counterfeit Malbon Korea stuff. And man, I fell in love too fast. And I got myself a nice bag, like a not a golf bag, but a Malbon like
yeah, it's like a
it's
travel
Boston.
bag kind of thing.
It's a travel bag. It's a Boston bag, is what it
Yeah,
is. And then yeah, got a toilet like a what is a toiletry bag called? A dock
yeah,
bag.
yeah.
Got a shoe bag, like a golf shoe bag. Got a bunch of shirts. Um, and got
But
another bag that I don't even
it's
know how to describe it.
yeah, if
And
somebody goes to Melbourne, Korea, I mean, instead of
I bought a
like
bunch of stuff.
50 lines in their inventory, they have 5,000 compared to what they have in the
But
inventory in the
I
US.
love I generally really like their stuff. I think it's awesome. Like a lot of their stuff I would definitely buy if it wasn't so
And
expensive.
I know golf isn't as big in Europe, but I mean,
Yeah,
you have
it's
some family
definitely
members.
founded in
Have
Europe.
you've seen it in Europe, Malbon?
No, I've never seen Malbon stuff here.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, no, never. It's founded. Malbon's founded in California,
Yeah, in California.
Santa
That's what I'm saying.
Monica,
It's
I
like
think.
a urban hipster brand that is
Not really
bigger, I
hipster.
think. I think it is,
It's
man. Looking
it's
at the
it's just
website
it's
and
just
everything.
golf. It's just golf dudes, like golfer, like rich golf guys, like
I
it.
don't know.
But
I look at
anyway,
their I look at
the
their website. They don't look like golfers, but go ahead.
well, in modern, like the younger crowd of that has really gotten into golf, um, and but yeah, so yeah, I bought a bunch of Malbon stuff from this knock like this basically golf dealer of knockoff goods in this mall in Shanghai, and yeah, I was really actually happy with the stuff. I used the bag on the way home. It's awesome. This is a great carry
Did,
on.
did anybody notice it or look at it or say or no?
No, no, but I mean, it actually just feels like a nice bag. Like it
Well,
feels high quality and everything.
to
It's
give
leather.
some people a visual, the bag he's talking about has the like playing
Like a
cards.
yeah,
King,
playing cards on
the
it.
King of
Yeah,
Spades is the logo on there. Their
yeah.
Malbon logo is kind of a golf ball. I don't know, flying through the air with a
They
hat
have a
on or something.
various. That's a
But that's
golf
their
ball
main.
with various like
Yeah,
a cartoonish golf ball is their main
yeah,
logo. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yep. But that was awesome. Like to see that store and yeah, I'd planned to go to China to buy pair of shoes. I wanted some new shoes. Ended up not doing that. I bought a shoe bag instead. It's bad, but yeah, once I got all that stuff, I was kind of tired of the haggling and
Yeah. So,
um. That's the one.
so
Yes, yeah.
shopping, it almost sounds like shopping is the main attraction there. What about food wise? How was the food?
Chinese food, right? I mean, it's just more Chinese. I will say, the best thing they have their buffets. There's a lot of like hot pot and kind of barbecue
Yeah.
tabletop barbecue buffets. I mean, unbelievable. It's so good. It's, this one I went to is probably $15. All you
Yeah.
can eat like high quality meats, seafoods, fruits, vegetables, fried foods, alcohol, sodas, dessert,
Did, did they
like all
have
really good.
any, um,
Live seafood too.
yeah, I'm not a big fan of that, but
Uh,
the,
hot pie and all this stuff. It's awesome.
did they have any unique, cafes like your Sea Otter Cafe in Hong Kong
No, I mean
or Tokyo?
I had some time to waste, so I went to a like a animal cafe, like a dog and cat cafe. They had both. And I just sat with the dogs and watched a YouTube video because I just a bunch of time to kill and I didn't know what to do. And yeah, I was exhausted, so I just wanted to sit somewhere and pet a dog. So I had actually had a corgi. I had a corgi and a husky that I was just chilling with. They were just laying next to me. It was very nice.
What? That's it.
But even wait,
Our dog.
even
Okay.
even more interesting there. They had one interesting animal, bunch of really cool dogs and cats. Felt a little sad for them, but still very very nice and cute. The most interesting animal there, um, they had an alpaca like at this mall, like
In a
pet
cafe.
cafe.
Oh, really?
It was just chilling in the middle of the floor, not talking to anyone, just
So
not yeah,
in Shanghai, maybe in the rest of China, are pets something people have?
a
They're
lot of
not working
pets.
dogs. Okay.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that's probably a status symbol too. Than if you have a really purebred
Yeah, if you have
corgi.
like a nice, but I mean it's normal like any city. Um, yeah, I mean I and again I was in the main touristy areas. I didn't go like super far outside the city center or anything. I went to a cool um like if you know the old town Sacramento, it's like kind of
Yeah.
fake-ish. It's definitely fake in China, like fake version of like a replica version of what old
Hmm.
China would look like.
Yeah.
Cool, really cool buildings. Like they had that, which has like actually a Michelin starred um bao bun
Yeah.
like kind of grab and go place. Like you order at the window and you just take it and go, and it was like Michelin starred. It's kind of
Really?
crazy. Yeah. Didn't
But
try. I had a huge line, but I just tried some of the street food there, like
with
skewered
China,
meats.
they have some cities that are replicas of other cities, like the
Yeah, yeah.
Paris,
Paris,
the Eiffel
Italian
Tower.
cities, Hallstatt. Yep.
Well, and now leading to one of the other sites you went to, I don't know if you want to jump in. You went to a very American attraction. You went to Shanghai Disney.
Oh, yeah, I did go to Shanghai Disney.
What, you
Um,
forgot about it?
I did forget about it. It was the last day, so I was flying out the at midnight the same day,
Well, wait.
and,
Let me preface this too, because Carson went to Shanghai. Tokyo Disney, and
Tokyo Disney Sea, not Disneyland,
but
which
with this
is the
Disney
other
and
part.
that Disney, I remember you were asking, would it be weird for me to go as an adult male without kids? And I said, no.
Yes.
God, you're in a unique area. It's not like you're a season pass holder going every weekend.
Yeah, but now I look like a Disney person, like Disney adult.
No,
It's so
no,
weird.
because you don't have pins on a hat. If you're not
Yeah.
collecting pins, you're okay.
But I
So,
go once to these, so I do need to go to Disney Paris now. That's
which I've been
unfortunate.
to, which is my favorite. It was at the time, but that's go on.
So speaking Disney Shanghai, it was a good park. Went on a Monday, on a school Monday, so it wasn't super crowded. Decent crowds, but not very crowded. I did a couple fast passes that I paid for just because I wanted to do every ride that I could in the day,
So
and
first,
I
what
was
was the price of admission? Just a standard ticket to get in,
$50.
Again,
I mean,
folks, you can fly to
unbelievable.
Shanghai and save money.
Eh,
Stay in a nice hotel, go there for
If
half the price.
yeah, if if you had the capabilities, I would 100% recommend instead of going to like Disneyland for like $300 for a
The
ticket,
ticket.
like take a crazy experience, go to Tokyo or go to Shanghai. Tokyo, I'd recommend first. I will say that
Yeah,
Tokyo because it
that's
has
the
two
last
parks,
question. Yeah.
Disney Sea and Disneyland, but so worth. Like the experiences are fantastic at both Shanghai and Tokyo,
And they're
and
they're
the prices are
unique.
cheap.
You would think, oh, they just ripped off Disneyland. From what you said, they're completely
No,
different, different
at
characters, different. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah at Shanghai Disney because the people like in China are into different characters and everything, right? And so, but we'll say the coolest ride there is Tron. So they have a Tron ride. It's very cool. Also sponsored by Chevy, which is kind of funny. Um,
Wait, is
you know,
Chevy in China? Can you buy a Chevy?
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Actually,
well then it
Buick
makes
is a
sense.
big brand in China. I was picked up in a
Not so
Buick
much here.
minivan.
There you go. Okay.
Um, but yeah, the Tron ride is the best ride. The most, by far, the most popular is Zootopia. So the Zootopia like land. They have their own land. Insanely popular.
Which
Um,
I have no idea about
yeah,
Zootopia. So on a recent flight, I watched the Zootopia movie just to figure out the characters.
you've watched it more than I have. So,
Yeah, I fell
um,
asleep, but it seemed like a good movie.
yes, it's an animated movie if you don't know. But the like the main cop girl character,
Little Rabbit.
it felt like yeah, Rabbit. It felt like 25 to 50% of the girls, like teenage and older girls, were cosplaying as her at Shanghai Disney. It's
Well,
crazy.
you had said that. That's why I wanted to watch the movie because I had no idea who this character was. And basically, it's a little rabbit. It's kind of the whole girl power thing. She comes from a
They love her there.
farmer community to the big city to fight crime. So I don't want to
Yeah,
get too much in it. But kind of
and
stupid.
like her, I don't know, boyfriend or whatever it may be, is also like a lot of the guys dress up. Not nearly as many of the guys dress up, but they do dress up as him, cosplay
The
as him,
fox.
and just yeah, the fox, I think,
Oh, I
and
didn't know
just
that was her.
the whole. I don't know if it's his boyfriend. I don't know. I've never seen the
He's the
movie,
other
but
main character. I think
yeah,
is
he's
what
the
I
other
put
main
together.
character. But the whole of Zootopia Land is the most popular area in Shanghai Disney.
I don't even
Um,
know if they have it here in
no,
like
they
Disney
don't.
World. Okay.
I mean, they may have something, but yeah, generally not. And then yeah, like they have like a Toy Story Pixar Land, which is very cool. The most popular like Toy Story character is probably one most Americans have never heard of. It's a pink bear, and he what's his name?
So it's not
I
Woody.
have to look up
Yeah.
his name. Lotso
Ted.
Bear. So his name's Lotso Hagen. He's a purplish pink.
He's in Toy
Uh,
Story.
yeah, yeah. It's exactly. So his name is Lotso. He's the most popular character in like Asia out of Toy Story, and I don't think he was introduced to like the third movie. But he's huge. He's massive. Yeah, he's the biggest
Really?
character there. And then the other one, the other big character is also a character that's like basically only popular in Asia, and I think he comes from actually Tokyo Disney. And he comes from I think the like Nantucket, like the Connecticut area at Tokyo Disney Sea,
Yeah. If you
like
guys didn't
Martha's
listen to that
Vineyard.
episode, they have a whole land that's based on
It's like Martha's
Nantucket.
Vineyard and Nantucket, and like
Just
I think
crazy.
it's where he comes from. But he's just called the Disney Teddy Bear. And his name's Duffy, and Duffy has a bunch of friends. They're all teddy bears, and they're just like classical. Duffy's just like the most classical teddy bear. Google him. Extremely popular in like Japan and in China among like Disney fans, where his like little keychains come in like protective cases so people don't steal them and damage them. Like at the stores, they have to like take them out when you're at the cash register.
So
Insanely popular, Duffy and Friends. They have a cafe, where you get, like, desserts and stuff from Duffy's, like, kitchen friends.
is he the one that smells like strawberries?
No, that's Lotso Bear.
Oh, so yeah, I like strawberries. And Carson said they have a character that smells like strawberries. Oh, come on, he doesn't
They had,
smell
like, a
like it.
special edition of the Lotso Bear that was smells like strawberries.
Jeez,
They had anywhere from, like, the small to, like, these big giant ones. I saw a bunch of people carrying around the big giant ones,
that is
and
wild. It's
yeah.
completely different. And it looked like from your pictures, I think you said it. The proper, it's pretty spread out, right?
Yeah, it's a big property. They have a lot of room to expand and build more. They like, they have a Pirates of the Caribbean ride or a Pirates ride, but it's not a Pirates ride like the Disneyland. It's actually based on Pirates of the Caribbean. So it has, like, Jack Sparrow,
Oh,
not the,
okay. The
like,
the
just
recent
classical
movie.
story.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, like,
Did
Disneyland, it's based on just pirates, right? And
do
it's
they
just
have a
pirate
haunted
story.
house?
No haunted house.
No New
The
Orleans kind of theme thing.
No New Orleans Quarter, no Frontierland. They did have, like, what's the Frontierland train
Right.
ride at
Oh,
Disneyland?
the train going through the mountain.
Yeah, Big Thunder Railroad.
Yeah.
At this place, it was Snow White's Seven Dwarfs, like, mining train. It's like a mine train.
Oh, that's
It's
cool.
kinda neat. Um, they had, like, a Fantasyland type of thing where, like, I went on, like, the Peter Pan,
So
ride.
the castle looks a lot different, different kind of colors and
Yeah,
did
it's
they
a
have
nice
little
castle.
do they have rides inside like they do at
No,
Disneyland? Like
they don't
no.
have that at Disneyland.
Yeah, they
Um,
do. Inside the
no,
castle's like Peter Pan's ride. Yeah.
that's Toontown out back. That's same they have here.
No, I'm talking about in
S
Disneyland LA
yeah,
and
it's not
Anaheim.
in the castle. The castle's too small for that.
No, it's not in the castle, but it's in the castle courtyard. You go through the castle and you go to the
Yeah,
merry-go-round.
to the back. Yeah, they have the same
Yeah,
type of thing here. It's not in the
yeah.
castle, but it's a bigger
Well,
castle, and it has
yeah,
more
I'm just
stuff in
saying
this castle.
in
Like, it
the
has the
castle
I think
area.
I was reading somewhere that the only place to buy, like, princess outfits for your kids is at the castle, so
Yeah.
it's just kind of an interesting thing.
What a Raiders of the Lost Ark?
No, but they did have, like, the chipmunks, like,
Oh, I like
chipmunks.
the chipmunks. They're cool.
They had like, a land basically of the 3 chipmunks, and, like, it was very
But you still
popular.
got
I almost stopped to say hi to one of them because they were out doing meet and greets.
do they do a train that goes all the way around the park like in
So
LA
that's
or
the
a
thing,
monorail?
the monorail is just normal to Chinese people, so there's no reason to build one of those.
Oh, okay.
So they don't have, like,
Nothing
that. They
special.
have, like, the kind of entrance, like, classical Disney entrance, but they don't,
Main
have
Street kind of
monorail
thing.
because it's just they have a maglev train, like, normally
Yeah.
in China, so it's not really interesting.
Hmm.
There's no reason for them to have made it. That was, like, the whole thing for, Disney to make this park, like, they basically told the Chinese government, "Yeah, we're gonna tailor it to, like, China
China.
and make it, like, China specific," and that's the only way they were allowed to basically build it is to make sure it's adapted to, like, Chinese culture, which
But
they have.
it's the main characters still Mickey and Minnie, Donald Duck,
Yeah,
Goofy.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
All the main characters are all still there. It's just some of the characters are way more popular.
I feel like we've degraded into infantile discussions of
Yeah.
amusement park, but it is
Um,
pretty cool.
yeah, the other thing I mentioned earlier I wanted to talk about it was actually going back, the cab rides, the taxi rides.
Oh yeah,
So when I was going to work every day, I had to take a taxi from my hotel out to, where I was working at, and, um, in Shanghai, but very far away, um, and it was anywhere from an hour to 2 hours drive time to get there. It's a round trip, like, 2 to 4 hours per day, and I was you basically pretty much have to use an app. Inside of the app I use to pay for things, the Alipay app, there's, like, smaller sub apps basically, and then you could then, hail a taxi, basically an Uber. It's an Uber app. but it's inside the your payment app, so it's, like, easy to pay for, and it's actually very easy to do, very quick. They have, like, a lot of ride options. Like, to get there and I was saying it was an hour to 2 hours to get there. I mean, for you, how much would that cost you for an Uber, you think?
Oh, hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, for an hour to 2 hours, I mean,
Dep
it's crazy expensive,
depend
right?
Obviously, depending where you're going, but yeah, it'd be in the hundreds.
Yeah, I mean, imagine you're going, like, an hour outside of LA or hour outside of 2 hours outside of LA.
Yeah, but yeah, if I
Um,
were to leave the studios of at Wits End and go to the airport, probably was a half hour drive in your
yeah,
car.
if that, yeah,
So it'd be at least probably $80 one
yep,
way.
and you probably get some Honda or something pretty basic.
And
Um,
you'd have to tip.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I was basically taking the equivalent of a Tesla Model S every day. He's car company, very nice car. We actually had one at our test track. It's a F7 basically is what it's called. It's a Chinese equivalent of Tesla Model S. Just taking that every day, and for this 1 to 2 hour drive, cost me anywhere from 10 to $12.
Which is wild.
Insane. And
So
that was the quote premium option. Like I
so
selected a higher option
s
because it was so
and
cheap.
that covers gas, the cost of
This
operation,
is
and the
electric car.
drivers. Okay. Did you see, what was the cost of gas there? Did you
I had
happen to
never even
notice?
saw a gas
Saw
station
it
to be honest.
really? Okay, interesting.
Yeah, and it's probably one that I passed by, but I never really saw one. So that was, like, one of the biggest shocks for me. I mean, 2 hours of driving, $12 basically is crazy, and, like, in a nice car.
So you could just, uh, what was it, Uber or whatever their app is, call them up, you're bored to death, or you just wanna see some of the
Just go for a
city,
drive.
and, you just pick a place somewhere to go. Could be an hour or 2 away and just get in the car.
I mean, if you get a really nice, like, minivan too with, like, captain's chairs and wood flooring, like, I had one of those at one point too.
You got little kids and you need them to sleep,
Yeah,
so you hire them to drive around for
yeah.
2.
But so that was the first crazy, like, thing was, taxis, like, how absurdly cheap they were. Um, and they were all electric too, that was the other thing, never had a gas one. At one point did have a Tesla, which was interesting, like a Model X, I think.
Mhm.
Um, but the other thing that was blew my mind, so my coworker ordered lunch for me at the place where I was working every day, ordered delivery, right? Made sense, like, it's kinda normal to
Chinese
order.
locals.
Yeah, yeah. And I would get, like, just some beef and rice or beef and noodle bowl typically every day, delivered straight to our office in where we were working, and I looked at the price of it, and I was like, "This can't be right." $4 delivered for a full meal that, I mean, one of them I couldn't even finish, it was too much food. Rice, beef, veggies, sometimes a little side soup. It's like 4 or $5 delivered. No drink, we just had the waters there.
Do they tip, like, on the,
Don't think
taxi
so.
ride and
I
on
don't
the
think
food?
so.
No? Did
I
you tip
didn't
the
on the
cab
taxi
driver?
rides.
No.
I never
Wow.
even asked.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, they deliver it by scooter, just walk into the office, they drop it on the table, take a photo, walk out without even talking to you. Right, the delivery of food is absurd there. I don't know how the economics work, but, I mean, I was blown away by how cheap it was.
What about the hospitality, like at the hotel, restaurants, shops? Do they
Uh,
pay attention to you, say hi, thank you, or just do
yeah,
the job and hand it and go?
they were very nice at my hotel. There was, like, someone on the elevator every time I was there, like, waiting out front of the elevator to direct you, to push the button for you. There's a bunch of people at the front desk, they were very helpful.
So at the Conrad, were they all Chinese or were there some, like,
Yeah, yeah.
foreign? Okay.
I saw one Russian girl. I think she's, Russian, working there, but I think, uh, yeah, it was all the rest were Chinese. Um, and yeah, they were all very nice. nothing like overly like above and beyond, but all very nice. I mean, I stayed there a week, like basically 7 days. And yeah, it was yeah, they were all generally very nice, and there was a lot of staff around. Not like not equivalent to Japan. I think Japan was way like they're kind of above and beyond.
Yeah. So like, last thoughts. What's your favorite between the two? Which would you go back to? We all
Tokyo
have,
and Shanghai.
yeah,
Um, Tokyo. Yeah. I I like Shanghai. Certain reasons why I would go there. Be a nice place to shop. I would love to shop there more. Or I'd prefer probably to shop in Shenzhen because that's where the tech stuff is, and that'd be
yeah.
really cool.
Shop with a
That's the like tech
container
hub.
where you can
Yeah,
load it.
I could buy a lot. But Tokyo as a city is top 3 in the world for me, and it's not even close. Like really,
What are the other two?
um, for my best cities in the world, like
Yeah.
where I would want to go to. I mean, it's hard to say because it's like budget would factor in. But if I just pick 3 cities, like London, Tokyo, and Vienna, like are kind
I'm
of
surprised. Yeah. I was going to say take Vienna out
and
because you go there so much. So you may not
I
appreciate it
I
anymore.
would say Vienna, not necessarily for like all the things it has to do, but it's just nice. It's just nice. It's quality,
Yeah. Yeah.
clean,
It's
it's
almost listed on one of
elegant.
the top quality cities to live
Yeah, it's
in.
elegant.
Yeah.
Just it's got a lot
His-
going for it. It's definitely
History,
like the
culture, food.
it's a place you'd want to live more than probably the other two, but I enjoy Tokyo and London more.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
to visit and do stuff in, like is more exciting. That's I like the go fast, do a lot of things type of stuff that Tokyo and London offer. That's more interesting to me. If I were to like live some like Vienna's very nice to live and everything. Um, but yeah, those are like kind of at this point my top 3 cities that are generally awesome. Shanghai is really cool. Really like it, but yeah, it like even the historic parts of it didn't feel very
Historic.
historic. Like they had this
Yeah.
really old temple, but it was like all refurbished and somewhat
Yeah.
newish and didn't feel as like Tokyo felt way more historic in that kind of
Interesting.
sense.
Wow. Okay.
And I just find like Tokyo very interesting. It's exciting. There's a lot of cool stuff there. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
But yeah, Shanghai has its cool things for sure.
What? Any other thoughts? Comments?
No, I was trying to think of anything else that in Shanghai I did. I
I mean,
think
there's a
that's definitely
lot,
kind of the
but
main stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool city. I definitely like gonna go to China. Definitely one of the cities to think about visiting. 20 million people. Like it's kind of crazy to think about. It's a big city, a lot of skyscrapers and all that stuff. Relatively affordable. Definitely affordable for like the big city type of.
Yeah. There's 20 million people in Shanghai alone.
Yeah, yeah. It's
God, the
crazy.
population of California is what, like 34, 35 million. So,
Yeah. It's a big place. Like it's a big
yeah.
area. But um yeah, I mean definitely a cool city, a lot of interesting stuff and a lot of cool areas and definitely like if you're going to China and want to visit a bunch of Chinese cities, one of the tops to visit.
Well,
Sure.
like I said earlier, if you're into consumer brands, you might consider just flying there instead of going to Rodeo Drive or New York City for shopping.
Yeah.
Just go to Shanghai and you know,
Even like Adidas, they have a really cool like Chinese only sublines which actually have like Chinese styled clothing but like matched to Adidas's brand, which is really interesting. A lot of cool stuff that they did like unique there.
well, well, congratulations on a good experience, Carson.
Yeah, it was fun. Alright, well, with that, I think this is way too long of an episode, but it's our first one back in a while, and I hope you stay tuned for some more. So be sure to like, subscribe, follow, do whatever you need to do to hear our next episodes after this, and we'll catch you later from At Wits End.
All right. Cheers. Thanks.